through the veil. Ancient secrets she doth tell. Heket we call to you, bring justice and reveal the truth.
My name is Papa Crow. That is my craft name, is what I go by. I am the high priest and one of the founding members of the Fire on the Mountain tradition, Draconian witchcraft. And what I want to talk about is, here of late, I've had a lot of practitioners. I have a lot of friends that are American traditional, folk practice, and eclectic, and even Wicca. And they have been coming to me through my Facebook and different outlets asking me about draconian magic. In particular, about how do you get started working with the dark tree. In my coven, we have been a coven for 5 years. We have been developing tradition, and we are still developing for the last 5 years. To explain this, I need to explain my own experience with it and how I got into this current of energy. Prior to working with Draconianism and the Dark Tree, I worked with Ted Andrews' Simplified Quabala Magic. I used to do the Middle Pillar every day, and I also worked with Animal Speak, which he also wrote, and I also worked in modern shamanic practices, and I had a native teacher for 4 of the last 4 years. I was a shaman basically for 4 years, or 15 years, I mean. During that time, I also studied and worked with some kind of Gnostic stuff. I actually performed a Gnostic ritual and different things like that. So I had a little bit of experience with some of this kind of magic. During a time that I'd also worked intuitive witchcraft. I've always had weird things happen ever since I was a kid, which I'm sure a lot of us have the same kind of experiences with shadow people and ghosts and things like that as a child. What I did was, at a certain point after I received my native teacher, life stepped in, some things happened, so my path went dramatically into a different direction. And I always wanted to learn how to work with the ancient grimoires from the Renaissance and Dark Ages and things like that. So I started studying, because I thought this was the avenue to learn how to do it, was Barden's initiation into Hermetics and ceremonial magic. So I did that for 2 years, and you know the Middle Pillar is part of that practice. And it just, man, it was hard for me. It wasn't really for me. I had gone so far away from the Christian narrative that it was just too Christianized for me. I have the same problem with folk magic. I can't connect. So I did it for 2 years. I became an Adeptus Minor. And then when I went into the tree, started working with Lucifer, Belial, Lilith, Hecate, which Hecate is our dark mother goddess of our temple. It was pretty much like being thrown into the abyss. I would say the first 4 years of working with the current for me was very hard, because I was running a coven at the same time. Like my coven, all of it developed at the same time. It was a really weird story. I'll tell it sometime. I had a lot of deep-seated inner trauma that I had to work through and things. And finally I did. But I was worried, because like the way our coven works is we have 3 tiers and 3 degrees between each one. We call them levels or temples. We have an outer temple with 3 degrees, a middle temple with 3 degrees, and an inner temple with 3 degrees. And we have coveners that are beginning to reach the level of the middle temple, which is when you start working inside the tree in our coven. And I was really worried about them having a similar experience, like just feel like they're being thrown into the abyss, because the energies are so different than what traditional Western magic normally consists of. We developed a ritualistic, magical exercise, you could call it a yoga exercise if you wanted to, whatever, to help acclimate the inner energies to the tree before you actually start working with it. Because one thing I learned through my over 20 years now of working in various magical practices is that the chakras can be programmed. I worked with 3 different chakra systems that align to 3 different forms of magic. They wouldn't always called chakras neither. In one of the shamanic systems I worked with, they were called spirit lodges, and there were always 7 of them. In our coven, we worked with 12. So I knew that they could be programmed. So it was just a matter of building an exercise that empowers the inner chakra systems and the outer area that you're working in at the same time. So we developed it. The first thing we did is we developed something very similar to the middle pillar, and we call it the witch's pillar. And we start with the witch's pillar, which is actually the middle part of the ritual exercise that you'll be doing. And when this exercise will acclimate you to the tree and make your entry into it hopefully a lot easier. But basically what you need to do is you need to find a place where you're going to have privacy and you're not going to be disturbed for at least, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes. It probably won't take that long, but you need to do this exercise no less than 5 days a week, every day if you can. And you need to find a spot, and then you need to be able to relax yourself. What we use is the golden light meditation, which basically you'll sit, lay, doesn't matter as long as your body can relax. I always sit in lotus, and you will imagine there's a golden light above your head, and you will draw it down with the breath, and you will slowly fill your body up with this warm, relaxing, liquefying golden energy, just like filling up a cup with each breath until your whole body is filled up with it. Once you have filled your whole body up, you will mentally scan your body for any tension points. If you find any, you simply flex that area and release it until it is completely relaxed. Once you are completely relaxed, your mind's relaxed, everything is moving with your breath, you found that point of focus, you will stand up. You will stand erect. You will envision a light above your head. You will draw this energy down into the crown of your head, and it will light up your crown chakra. That halo energy will light it up the most widest supernova white you've ever seen. And you will vibrate the sacred name of the witch lord, Lucifer. Now, you can intone it or you can sing it. If you sing it or intone it, it doesn't matter. You need to do it with intent. You need to do it with purpose. You need to do it with reverence, and you need to do it with power. You got to have passion behind what you're doing. You will do this 3 times, and then you will draw the light down with your breath to your throat. This area will explode into a brilliant blue ball. Here you will vibrate the sacred name of the witch god Belial. Again, you will do this 3 times. You will breathe down, this time into the heart and into the sternum, solar plex area. You'll take up this whole area. This will be a golden sun type energy. Here you will vibrate the sacred name of the witch lord Belphegor 3 times. You will go down into your groin and just below your navel. So it'll be the navel chakra and the groin chakra together. This will be a deep purple or violet, brilliant in colors, as vivid as you can imagine it. And you want to feel it vibrating in each chakra as you call out those names. And here you will vibrate the sacred name of our witch queen Lilith. You will do that 3 times. Then you will draw the energy down, and it will encompass your feet and into the ground. And this will be the deepest, darkest black obsidian sphere that you can imagine, sinking into the earth. And here you will vibrate the divine name of our witch goddess Nama. You will do this 3 times. This will bring a current of energy all the way through your body and into the earth. And these are the names of the witch gods that rule those spheres on the night side of the tree. Now, you can still have reactions to this energy, so you need to be aware of this. We had a covener that we initiated last year into the coven. He initiated on Samhain. We initiate twice a year, Samhain and Beltane. He did his year and a day. Now, year and a day is important for us because that's your probation time. During that time, you can be asked to leave the coven at any point. This is to make sure that you're dedicated, that you're there for the right reason, that you're willing to work, because it's important, because this could be a dangerous current. You need to truly be in it, and that your energies will match with the rest of the coven members. We don't want no drama. Well, he did it, and he did well. And then he came into the coven, and he started coming to some of my classes, and he came to the class where I was teaching this, and so he started doing it. And he did it like a couple of times. He was doing it at home, and all of a sudden he started having all kinds of problems. And he said, Papa, do you think that doing this exercise could be causing us problems? And I said, well, it's possible. I said, you know, these kinds of energies will pull things out and bring it to the surface. He came to me, we worked on taking him back to the basics, learning that 4 elemental system, balancing those elements, and raising him back up. Now he can not only perform the witch's pillar, but he can perform the whole entire exercise. And he's doing really well. Now, what we do that's different than most too is, like, I've seen witches here lately, they work with a tree, 6 months later they're through the tree. We didn't do that. We're running a coven, building a tradition, and working with the tree at the same time. What ended up happening is we ended up spending 1 year in each of the Aquila, each of the shells, the spheres of darkness. We spent 1 year in each of them, working specifically with that energy. And there were some amazing things that we found out. And those things that I can't give them away, they're coven secrets, but those things that were revealed to us help us form the magical tradition that we are working now and that we do in our coven. But that is the Witch's Pillar. Try it. Let me know. I hope it helps. My name is Papa Crow, and I'm out.
Her cauldron holds the goddess brew. Her wand directs her to the truth. She holds the cup, he holds the key. Ambrosia, immortality. Ooh.